Hi, Seema, can you hear me clearly? Guys, can anyone hear me?
Yes, Sid, you can be heard.
All right, brilliant.
I said, how are you?
Hi, Richa, there you are. So today I found out that Richa Das is a geek.
So sorry?
I said today I found out Richa Das is a geek.
Very geeky. But I am really geeky. I love being a geek.
And so it wasn't as acceptable earlier. Now I think geeks are in fashion. Yeah.
I think they're very cool now. Considered pretty cool to be a geek. Earlier they were looked down upon.
In fact, that whole if you look at the current scenario, that old biblical phrase I think was misspelled somewhere. It was the geek shall inherit the earth. No. Look at all the geeks right now, man. They're the richest people on the planet.
I agree. I agree. The geek shall is it. So it's just a matter of one letter.
Right. तो कहीं वो हिब्रू में कहीं मिसट्रांसलेट हो गया होगा.
Correct. It's miscalculation का ही case. I'm with you.
Right. So
So we have many early risers who come in on time. Which
मैंने 350 I had requested that. Hi Kiran. It's always fun to. You're on mute. It's always fun to have a little chat before.
yes, of course, of course.
सीमा आपका अभी तक visitor लिखा हुआ from our last meeting.
I think there's some more people in waiting room.
आप admit कर सकती हैं.
I will admit. Okay.
जी. I'm just instead of clicking one by one, I'm just waiting for 2-3 folks.
Yeah, and then you can just go ahead. I agree.
Then I just type admit all.
Correct. Of course, of course. I just noticed. I'll do it.
Right. Let me just get.
अरे एसी किसने कहा चलाने को दिया?
Guys, have any one of you done this before? The point of coming early is to chat and exchange notes and expectations and all
Yeah,
of them.
I would like. So someone's saying they can't hear, no volume. Could you please just check on in your settings, because the volume's quite okay. I mean, we can hear each other fairly well.
Can
Just
you hear me loud and clear?
also, if there's any problem.
Richa, can you hear me loud and clear?
Absolutely, crystal clear.
Right.
And I hope you can too. I am not using any other appendage.
No, ma'am, you're absolutely loud and clear.
So there's anyone who would like to chat, please use the chat window. We would love to hear from you. There is Dr. Neepam. Anyone who would like to introduce themselves? If we don't know you from before, please feel free.
Or just unmute yourself.
Yeah, and you could even talk. Yes, of course.
Raise your hand. If,
yeah, if you'd like to.
Richa, did you start the recording?
No, it is recording on its own.
Oh,
I
good.
thought you did.
No. I thought you did it. Then I realized I was setting में डाल दिया था.
I think settings में आपने शायद डाला था, इसलिए वो on its own it's recording.
Okay, that is good.
Because
so guys, I hope you got the prompt that this meeting is being recorded. This is something I'd really like to keep with us and revisit. This should be fun. Anupama, you have an interesting name there. Inner Shift.
So Inner Shift is the name of my Inner Shift is a brand under which I work. I am a NLP trainer.
How interesting. NLP.
And she is also a very dear friend, a lovely soul.
Right. Glad to hear, man.
Yeah. So Inner Shift is the brand under which I work, and So I put it as Anupama at Inner Shift. That's my
Right.
name for Zoom.
Cool. Acha, talking about geeks, by the way, Richa, I just noticed my wallpaper. In fact, yesterday yesterday I have a folder called Geek Wallpapers for my Zoom backgrounds. And I've got a whole
Okay.
bunch of them, all your Iron Mans and Star Wars, and so these are all a
If you
bunch of
have
stuff.
something very interesting, please share. I'd love to have a similar one.
Will do.
I am quite happy with my Aurora, but this is a very common one which is available for everyone. So
Yeah.
Right, we should
something
make
very
a
please
custom
share.
one for you.
Yes, yes. I think I'll get my son to do it. He manages my YouTube channel. So
आपकी
I can
आपकी आवाज अभी
get
बीच
him.
में कटने लग गई थी.
Yeah, yeah. So I do have a equally nerdy son.
Right.
Nice.
So Dipti is saying she's very curious about spirit guides. Yes, we'll talk about it. Of course, Dipti.
Yeah, just give us a moment to start the meeting and get everyone in and all of that.
Yes, I
ये
mean,
तो inevitably क्या होता है कि हमने बात करा 5 minutes और फिर somebody else comes in and then they say could you just repeat what happened and then फिर वो वो थोड़ा बोर हो जाता है because even we are here for the love of it because we really enjoyed. I know if you whenever you see Deepti's not Deepti Richa's resume, you'll see that even she definitely enjoys what she does based on the number of modalities she's learned and exposed herself to and all of that.
Sid, आपकी आवाज थोड़ी muffled हो रही है. I think आपका mic दूर चला जा रहा है.
Yeah, दाढ़ी बीच में आ रही है. Anyway, is this better?
Yeah, that's the feeling effect. I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
And in
So
fact,
Sid, I'm attending this one for the second time. आपका जो पिछला ऋचा का किया था आपने आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड वाला.
जी.
I attended that also, and I'm attending this one for the second time. Yeah, I mean.
Lovely.
But Richa का ये session first time.
We had some lovely feedback for Richa's first session. And,
yeah.
And in fact, this one was that the person who was doing it this week had to drop out, and just about a few minutes, a few hours or something like that, Richa mentioned that that she might be listening, and there.
Yes, yeah, I had a Saturday free, so I just pinged you saying कि मेरा ये slot free है, आप बोलो तो करो. So he says, "Are you still available?"
But in this entire theme of things, metaphysical and coincidental and all of that, that's quite interesting. That you let me know you're free, and I say no, I don't. Thank you so much. It's all done, and then that person drops out, and here we are together.
So anyway, in my opinion, there are no coincidences in the universe. So that's how it is. There are none. So we have Mr. P.K. Yes, yes.
I saw you somewhere. अभी आपको देखा था आपका video on था. I
he has just shut it off.
Right.
Is the webinar on Akashic records available on YouTube? The answer is yes, it's available on my channel. Not the whole webinar, but the meditations available. So if you follow my channel, you will get it. It's called Akashic Expansion.
Right.
Someone's asking about the Akashic webinar. I had recorded it, but क्या होता वो recording में everybody's like small, tiny boxes. And I think people really wanted to take advantage of the meditation. So I've only uploaded meditation, which is what people can enjoy. The webinar is not there. This one I will see how it comes across and will make an attempt.
So we have at least one skeptic in the audience here. There I can see Mr. Bhatnagar again. Hello, sir. I can see you. We have at least one skeptic in the audience here. So I was talking to my mother the other day, and she says I'd like to meet a hypnotherapist or somebody like that. So she says I don't think I can be hypnotized. So I said okay, fine. So I said why don't you just attend one of these sessions because ultimately we're talking about trance induction, and the सारे के सारे experiential वाले start with trance induction. So I said try करिए. But just make sure you got something behind you in case you fall back or something.
Yes, I've had a lot of people saying, I can't be hypnotized and all of that. I just asked them, have you seen a very bad series or a very bad movie? And it's a stupid movie and you've still sat through the whole thing. Right. Most people say yes. So I said, then you know hypnosis. You were hypnotized.
In fact, I find people who have the most such convictions, they're actually the easiest to do so because you actually leverage those same convictions.
Correct. And you go in. But yes, under hypnotherapy practices, we will not do it without permission ever. Okay. But the hypnotism practice, which is not the therapeutic one, but the typical hypnotism, it's possible. There's been surveys done that around 70% people they can go under direct hypnosis, and then there are indirect versions. So there are so many versions that we can use, which are just there to be used.
Right. In fact, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about the.
Yes, we have around 101 people already. आप जब भी बोले Sid, we can start. Given that we have just an hour, that's the.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering when maybe another 5 minutes, guys. If you could just give me a thumbs up or something, because we had 350 people registered, and it would be a shame if we carried on with 1/3 of the number of folks who were interested. So is that okay? Thumbs up. I can see one. I know Neeta gave it. Yes, Neeta, I can see that. I can see my mother. That's Winnie over there. That's my mom. Hi, mom.
Oh, I
there she is. Ashwarya, cool. I guess we're okay. Thanks, guys. Just give us another 5 minutes. Or, by the way, if you wanted to chat, just unmute and let go. Yeah.
Yes. Please talk. It's we're happy to talk.
Have you experienced something like this before? Okay, you know what? I'll share my first experience with what I think was a spirit guide, and perhaps Richa can tell me whether that was or wasn't or whatever. So my earliest memory of something like this, I don't know what it was when I was maybe about 10 or 9 or 10 years old. We lived in a city called Bikaner. I mean, you've all heard of that. And there I remember I used to like drawing, and when one doesn't have these perceptions of how to draw 3D and all of that. So when I used to want to draw something and I didn't know how to draw it, I remember at times closing my eyes and then seeing an old hand, just an old wrinkled hand, with a pen on some kind of yellowed paper, and drawing out a line drawing of how to draw that thing, and then I would understand it, then I'd open my eyes and draw it again. Now, what was that, Richa?
So it can be multiple things. Possibly when we have a very clear image of was the hand human?
It was a human wrinkled old hand.
Wrinkled old hand. Then there's a very strong possibility that it may have been a spirit guide, because usually spirit guides, and there are all kinds of spirit guides. I am going to be, of course, talking about it when we get deeper into the subject and the demarcation of between angels, spirit guides, masters, ascended masters. I will attempt my level best to, try to demarcate so that we're all very clear. Usually spirit guides show themselves very clearly. So if you had a very clear image or a very clear understanding, there's a good possibility that may have been your spirit guides. But wo zyadatar wo bahut, so even if they do show themselves, they never will in a manner to either try to control you or to try to give you anything which you don't want to take. So it's usually a very gentle, for want of a better word, a very gentle initiation into them. It's very, very gentle.
It's like your YouTube tutorial on demand.
Sorry? Tutorial on demand.
YouTube tutorial on demand.
And yeah, so they won't come and sir, आपको चाहिए तो करेंगे, बहुत gently nudge करेंगे आपको, लेकिन it's never like it's not something that you're either forced or you're said कि नहीं you have to do it, ऐसा कुछ भी.
Right, guys. Anybody else share any experience you have?
No, just I had a psychic reading, I think a couple of weeks ago, and it was on the phone. And the psychic reader she was telling me about do you know the person by the name of this and that, and she's saying hi to you.
Okay.
She's saying hello to you. So I didn't know the name, and one of my colleagues' husband, he just passed away and long time ago, and he just hung himself on the tree, whatever. So he's saying hi to me to just convey to his wife.
Okay.
And his wife was my ex-colleague, but I couldn't contacted her. Like I was trying my best to contact her, just to say convey his message to her. But I couldn't do that. I feel so sorry about that, but that's might be destiny, that I tried my best. Yeah, I couldn't contact.
So don't worry so much about it, Saloni, isn't it? Saloni, don't worry too much about it. If the person wanted to really give a message, they will use another means.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Someone's hearing my voice echoing. Ashna, I believe.
Your voice is sounding fine to me.
My voice?
Neeta, you were saying you raised.
It's perfect. Voice is audible, clear.
Clear,
Say
is it?
something,
Okay.
Neeta.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Richa. Sorry. Just remember that today morning itself, I got my mother's dream for the first time after she, I still can't find words to tell that she left me. Yeah. So on 10th May, she passed away.
Mhm.
Aaj subah, I was feeling so like, oh wow, I saw Ma.
Mm.
So, like, she didn't say a word or anything. I was just helping her to sit down on a chair. But I was
Sure.
feeling so happy and nice. So, is it like it is my memories that is making me dream?
I will talk. Give me some more time. I will talk about all of this and more as I'm
Okay.
talking about loved ones. I'll delve
Yeah.
deep.
Okay,
Okay.
Neeta, let's hear you out, and then shall we start our right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Go on,
See, in 2011, I lost my dad in a sudden accident. It was unexpected death, and it was I was very close to him, and I couldn't accept his death or to take as it is. And somehow a days passed. Then I read the books by Dr. Brian Weiss, and that is how this guiding spirits was first I came was introduced to. So somehow I coped up and things moved on. And very recently I started practicing gratitude and affirmations. And last week, Richa, one of your student, Priya Sitaraman, she is my friend. So we both were talking, and she had to do this readings. So
Mhm.
she said, "Give me your three question, one question that you want to be done." So I gave her three questions in the series of importance. And when she did it, and when she was explaining it, we both suddenly said, "Okay." I was like, "Why not me do it?" And she was, "Neeta, why not you do it?" And that's how I'm here.
Oh, lovely. That's amazing. I'm so happy that you did it.
I see things are transforming, and I'm so happy for this.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. Sid, what is
All
your
right.
shall we?
Let's start.
Yes. Okay.
All
Over to
right.
you.
I'm just going to share my screen for a bit. We are going to. Could you take care of the people coming in the meantime?
Yes, yes, I will. Don't worry. No, don't worry at all.
So let me just share my screen. One moment, guys. Okay. So I'm not really sure how to get the. Okay. Is my screen visible here?
Yes, please.
All right, brilliant. So, guys, thank you so much for attending. Today is perhaps the largest audience we've had since we started this initiative a few weeks ago, and we started Community Healers about 4 weeks ago. It was based on a message which a friend and I spoke about one day, and it just started. And since then, we've had a whole bunch of awesome people coming together. And the purpose behind community healers are we have just three things. One is to share knowledge, two is to showcase practitioners, and three is to access healers. We know we've got a whole lot of folks and a whole lot doing a whole lot of different modalities. And the purpose is to try and get all of us together to learn some things, to broaden our horizons, to see beyond the traditional, perhaps a bit into the esoteric, perhaps the metaphysical, but ultimately to just reach that stage of wellness that all of us are really looking for. Um, and if you are not already members of the Community Healers group, please go ahead and join the Community Healers group on Facebook. You have the address on top. It's called Community Healers. Join us there. We'd love to see you there. Okay, so here we have introduction to Richa Das, and Richa's done two episodes with us so far, two sessions she's done. The first one was received brilliantly, and here's the second one, which I think is going to receive just as much acclaim. She is a very engaging speaker, and take a look at her. There's a brief bio right here on the screen if you can read it. She's done a whole lot of different modalities, and I remember the other day I was talking to her about something, and then I gave my opinion, and then she returned back a very, very neutral, "I understand." Now, I've used that phrase before, "I understand." And it definitely doesn't mean I agree. It just means I understand. And then I realized that this lady has access to so many more modalities. She's experienced so many more perspectives, and I have far fewer perspectives than she does. And so it was very interesting to realize that wellness can have so many different angles which we can
Yes.
look at it. So anyway, so here we are, Richa, and we are going to just quickly introduce IF90 again. Now, IF90 is the basis for all of these wellness initiatives which we brought together, including community healers, and it is based around metabolic wellness. And that brings me to the end of my screen share. Let me just stop the share and bring it back here. Okay, now shall we just quickly start with a quick introduction? Richa, tell us, what are spirit guides?
Sorry, somebody's this thing is echoing.
Okay, so I've done the muting. All right, Richa, I've muted you also by mistake.
I'll unmute.
All right, cool. So Richa, what are
Okay.
spirit guides?
Yes,
Can you tell
yes.
us something more about them, please?
Of course, that and more. See, Sid, Sid, thank you so much. You've been very, very kind. And this is to all of you. Some of you have heard me before, and whoever is getting to know me for the first time, I love to be interrupted. So do not worry about your questions, your things that will not get answered. You of course have my numbers. It has been very, very kind to share that with you. You could, even if we finish today's session, community healers, the platform's open. You can always write a message to me there. You can write a message to me directly. So I promise you, I'll come back to you with all the answers in addition to what we have talked about today. Of course, time is of essence and we have time till 5 p.m. And I do want to give you guys an experience around it. So I have my own, channeled meditation, which I'd love to share with you all. Take you all through that, as we call it, the trance experience. I love inducing trance. So to, take you guys through that experience of actually experiencing something. And then we get into the very depth and nitty-gritties of it. So before that, let me just quickly tell you what are spirit guides. Spirit guides are entities, okay, who have been with us from the time our soul separated from the all source or the prime creator or God, whatever name you would like to call that. That is the source from where we all have come. And that is the source from where, we continue our life. Now, spirit guides are completely non-intrusive beings. They will not come and interfere with your life in any way. But we do have an understanding of them being in our lives. Let me give you a very beautiful example and a very good one. Let's look at, I think most of us may have this experience. There are times when we're just about to cross the road and a vehicle is very, very close to us. Isn't it in like split seconds that either you will move back or you move ahead and you're saved? I think many of us have had that actual experience. That's the time where your spirit guide has actually jumped in and helped you. Those are the times where, and we say, oh my God, बच गए. भगवान ने आज बचा लिया. So आप उनको दूसरे नाम से वो भगवान का ही स्वरूप है. I hope Hindi is okay with everybody. I will try my level best to continue to speak in English, but I do sometimes tend to lapse into Hindi. It's my mother language, so we all tend to lapse into that. Okay, so that is one of your actual experiences of a spirit guide that you may have. Sometimes we have what is called as nudges. There's something inside you telling you, "Beta, ye kar lo. इससे भरा हो जाएगा." And it's a very loving, gentle, soft voice. Please remember, this voice is never intrusive. It will never intrude with what you are going to do, what you're thinking about, what you want to truly do. They will never ever take over your free will choice. But they may tell you कि ऐसे कर लो तो better हो जाएगा, वैसे कर लो तो better हो जाएगा. तो कभी कभी हम उसको, जिसको अपनी इंट्यूशन की आवाज मानते हैं, हम उसको क्वेश्चन करते हैं. We will question it and say, oh, this is only my imagination. Oh, how can this be right? This is so funny. This is so weird or so away from what I'm going to do. And many times we dismiss it. So our spirit guides come through us through our intuitive voices. And as we continue to follow them, they will start speaking through language, through words, through feelings, through visions. Or as Sid said very beautifully, he saw a wrinkled hand drawing a picture for him. Is it possible to have an absolute actual experience? The answer is absolutely yes. It is possible. Yes. So those are what is called as spirit guides. Spirit guides are beings who have been here on earth before or have not been here on earth before. They can be of both kinds. Some have come to earth and then have gone back to the spirit realm and then are choosing to serve from there. Or some have never come on earth and their only work is to serve. Basically, look after souls in a very personal way. So we can get to know who our spirit guides are. And usually people have one primary guide and then you may have secondary guides. The primary one is the one who looks after your complete well-being and has been with you throughout. The secondary guides may come and go depending on what are the challenges that you are handling and what is the additional help that you may need. Spirit guides can also be of animal origin or mythical origin. Yes, so that is what spirit guides are. Can we see them? Can we get a feeling who they are? Can we get a sense of spirit guides? The answer is absolutely yes. Yes, you can get a feeling. Yes, you can identify them. You can get to know their names as well as your experience deepens into that field. Okay. For that example, my name of my website is Samira's Blessings. Samira is the name of my spirit guide. I met her a few years back in a meditation experience very similar to the one that I'm inducing for each of you today. Okay. I didn't get her to know her name. I only saw her face. And I was very happy to see her face. Okay. I'm getting several questions. I will come to each question, I promise. Okay. So, and I didn't get to see and get to know her name. Her name was later whispered to me in my ear, in my this thing. And then what happened was that, just a second, yes. And then what happened was that I was able to, later get to understand what does this word Samira mean. It's a Hebrew word. And when I checked back on it, I got to know it means guardian angel. And I realized that I have loved this name from the time since I remember. And I didn't know why I loved it. And later when you go behind finding something, you get to realize how magical something is. So today my company is also known as Samira's Blessings, and everything is a blessing because she's around. The logo of my company is her face. I sketched it myself. It's a charcoal drawing. This is how I see her. This is how she looks like. She's a tall figure, 7 feet plus tall, wears white, has a beautiful blue colored, it's like a gem on top of her head, and her eyes are electric blue in color. That's how I identify her. So my favorite color is electric blue. So that's a little bit about my spirit guide. Several of you have asked questions, I believe, on, my mother. I believe even Kiran said that. Nita had some experience, and I had someone else, Preeti, I believe, who's talking about your parents, your mothers, me waiting for them, and they have messaged us, talked to us. So let's understand that a little bit. Can our loved ones, the ones who have passed on from earth, can they be our spirit guide? A spirit guide is a larger term where the guide, once they have finished their karma on earth, can choose to then serve souls from the spirit realm. Then they can go on to become spirit guides. Our loved ones who have passed on can for some time choose to serve us. And then they become what is called as loved ones. There's a slight demarcation. Is there an area of commonality? Absolutely. Some loved ones do become spirit guides later. If they choose at that point in time, now this is what I want to do. This is what I want. I want to continue to serve souls from this realm. Then they can, as we say, go on to become spirit guides. So is there a possibility of the two being the same? Yes, it is possible. It depends on the soul and its choice, what choice it has taken. Let's understand what loved ones do. Loved ones show themselves to us, and they usually visit us in our dreams. If they have come to you in a dream, most of the time they have just come to say hi or give you love. Many a times it feels like a memory, but many a times it's very unusual as well if you remember all the details. So yes, we call them visitations, and that's how souls visit, because they do not want to come and interfere with this physical realm. So they come through dreams. Dreams are a passage. So that is how we have people or all our loved ones visit us. I have several questions. Just a second. So someone's getting, this is Anita, I believe, that I get them in my dreams very often. Does this mean something? Do they want to convey something to me? The answer is absolutely yes, Anita. If they're again and again reappearing in your dreams, and these are loved ones that have passed on, they are wanting to give you a message. If you are unable to understand, simply ask in your dream, what do you want to say? I'm not able to understand. If I can't understand in a dream, please show me in a physical way. They will show it to you. The message will reach either via a book, via someone else. I believe it was Saloni who was saying that she had a psychic reading and someone was giving her a message. Through those means as well, they approach. So you will get a message if that is what is meant for you. Okay. Okay. Yes. Any other question? Yeah. Does the spirit guide change according to the situation? As I said before, there can be multiple spirit guides. Your primary one doesn't change. So the primary one actually never gives up on you, even though we may be very naughty souls and may not have done the best of things possible. They don't give up on us. So imagine there's someone behind you who never gives up on you. What an amazing thought that is. That हम कितने भी नालायक हो हमारा रास्ता नहीं छोड़ते, हमें नहीं छोड़ते. With such a sense of empowerment that we get. This is what I call our spiritual team. They truly love us. But ये मतलब नहीं है कि आपको बताएंगे नहीं कि बेटा तुमने गलत किया, लेकिन बहुत प्यार से बताएंगे और ऐसे बताएंगे कि आपको समझ में भी आएगा and you will take a corrective action. They are not in a punitive approach. They don't have a reprimanding approach to anything like this. Yes, let's do a little bit of a demarcation between spirit guides and masters and ascended masters and angels. I'm doing just a little bit in it because these are deep studies of their own. Okay, ascended masters are avatars who were here on earth and we know them that they were here. Example, Jesus, Buddha, Shirdi Sai Baba, if you believe in him. No, these are examples of ascended masters who were here and then they left earth. So they were here in what? Human form. So hence we call them ascended masters. Okay. There are several, acclaimed ones, proclaimed ones that we do know of and understand. The second category is that of masters. These are complete energy beings. They never identify themselves. They are usually in the Akashic records, and that's how they speak to you. If you ask them, they will simply say, we are the masters. They never identify themselves, nor will they show you their face. आपको कभी उनका नाम नहीं पता चलेगा, चेहरा नहीं पता चलेगा. So they are an impersonal support and yet very, very personal. Okay. And the third and the most beautiful category is that of angels, archangels. These are absolute entities. We know them by name. They manage the entire universe and they live in the same realm as that of God. Okay. So angelic beings are not specific to an individual. Archangel Michael will be for me, so will it be for Sid. And it won't be a different Michael for the two of us. It would be the same. But the masters can change, and Sid and I will have our own personal spirit guides, which will be my own, and Sid will have his own. Okay. So that is how is the differentiation between these entities of what I know of it till in my experience till date. Yes. Okay. Just taking in. Okay. Yes. Any other question? If people are happy to ask me, my suggestion is, as I told you guys before, I believe in experiences more than questions. Why don't we have this experience? And after that, I'd love to take your questions. Then we will have very experience-based questions. Is that fine with everyone? Yes? Wonderful.
Yeah, yes.
Sid, we have admitted everybody, isn't it? We don't have, I believe there's just one last person waiting. Great. She's also been admitted. Great. Okay. So requesting everyone to please support your backs. Make sure your feet are flat on the ground or in Sukhasana position. That is the lotus position, the lotus yogic position, or flat on the ground. Both positions are perfect. Your back needs to be very, very supported. Yes, someone else, Vinya is talking about her experience with angels via feathers, butterflies, sports. Yes, that's how they talk. The angels don't usually appear. Their energy is so high that on a human level, we'll not be able to take it. We can only experience them as light sometimes. So that's what it is, Vinya. Yes. But we can see our spirit guides. They do show themselves to us. And we will attempt that right now, isn't it? Is everyone good with me? Wonderful. Okay. Please close your eyes and go in very deep. Let your breath become your vehicle for relaxation. complete full breaths. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. As you breathe in, your stomach expands. And as you breathe out, it contracts. Slow down your breathing. You are here now. Any thoughts that may be troubling you are simply leaving you with your out breath. And your breath is taking you in deeper and deeper into your own experience. With each breath, just imagine that from the heavens above, from the Akasha above, there is an illuminating light that is coming into your soul star chakra. This chakra is 18 centimeters on top of your head. And from there, it has entered your crown chakra, right on top of your head. With every breath that you take, you're releasing all incompatible energies, thoughts, deeds, actions, all that no longer serve you in the here and now. And the beautiful light, the illuminating light from the Akasha has entered your spinal column, through your third eye, throat, heart, in your stomach region, the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, into your root chakra, which is at the tip of your spine, and entering now through the soles of your feet into Mother Earth. You are being grounded into Mother Earth, into her very loving core. She is the greatest magician we know. Her name is Gaia. She is a goddess herself. And she is the one who's sending you back loving, nourishing energy through the soles of your feet. And through the heavens above, you are getting the Akasha light. Both these energies are combining and creating a beautiful, illuminating shield or bubble all around you. You are inside the bubble now. And you're being upheld by the Akasha. You are under its protection so that you are communicating at the highest vibrational state at the spirit level. No harm can come to you through this shield. It is the armor of protection of the Akasha light. Now, using your wonderful imagination, imagine you're sitting on a wooden bench. It's a clearing. All around you, it is peaceful. In this clearing, there are flowers. There are birds flying above your head. It's a warm, sunny summer afternoon. There's no one around. No one needing anything from you. No one expecting anything. You know you're surrounded by a lush green forest and you're feeling completely safe, secured, protected. You're sitting on this bench with your hands in your lap. You can feel the warmth of the sun. And you can be with yourself now. You are looking around and you notice that at a distance there is a mountain. As you look more closely, you discover a winding path. And just beyond this path, a gleaming light. The light seems to be coming towards you gradually, to where you are sitting. Now the light seems to stop. You notice now that there is a gate and a fence. And this light has stopped there. It seems that you now need to give permission for the light to enter. You find yourself allowing the light. As the light starts to come towards you, you are now able to distinguish some features. Maybe the shape or the size of the light, the color, maybe an aroma, or a familiar symbol may now start to appear in front of you. You notice that the presence of the light fills you with a calm, a complete sense of well-being and serenity, which is enveloping you fully now. You realize that you are now in the presence of a higher spirit, a spirit being, a guide. You ask this light being, what is your name? You may now receive a feeling or the understanding of a name. Notice any emotion, sensation, or feeling that you are experiencing now. As you make contact with this presence, this light being, you may also experience this presence as a tingling in your complete body. Ask the spirit guide at this point, what is the purpose of this spirit guide with you as a soul? Is it here to teach you or to guide you or to enhance certain skills and abilities within you? Example, like music or art or dancing. Often guides have a specific purpose in our lives and may appear at a particular time in our lives. You can also ask the guide if he or she is your primary guide and can be trusted. Guides expect to be tested this way. It is your time, your space, your meeting with your guide. Fully enjoy this experience by surrendering through all your senses. Now you can ask your guide any questions that may be present in your mind. You may receive an understanding, a sense of knowing of these questions. These questions may be around your relationships, a point in your career, a detour from the path you are on currently. All these questions can be asked from your spirit guide. So take your time now, as I'm going silent for some time, as you continue to receive information. Remember, you are receiving information from all your senses. Continue to stay with your experience. Your breath is your vehicle and taking you in deeper. Once you have received this information, you can thank your spirit guide for all the guidance that you have been given. You will also now notice that your spirit guide is ready to leave. He or she is moving away, going back through the pathway in the forest. Allow this to happen. You are filled with a sense of wonder, understanding, love, support, guidance, all that and more. As you continue to imbibe this meeting, this experience that you've just had, and you realize that once again, you are sitting on your bench and feeling the warmth of the sunlight, the comfort, the serenity, the complete sense of well-being, the complete sense of support. And you know now, you were never alone and you never will be. Knowing, enjoying, and loving this feeling, you are very gently and lovingly getting your sense of awareness back into your body, coming back into your heart center. You're feeling your heart. Very gently and lovingly, very lovingly. Start by letting go and coming back. You can start by moving your hands and fingers, the toes in your feet, so that your awareness comes back into your body. And with gratitude and love in your heart for this experience that you've just had, your experience is your very own. You've received what you needed to at this point in time for what you were ready for. Knowing that, lovingly, gently, please come back in the here and now and open your eyes. Take your time. Come back. Yes, how are we all feeling? Sid, how are you feeling?
30 seconds into your induction, I realized that I would have to let people in, so I couldn't experience it.
You can always enjoy this experience. It's on my YouTube channel. It's
Yes.
called the Spirit Guide Meeting. It's present there. Similar, not exactly the same, but a similar experience is there.
Guys, anyone wants to share what they're feeling, what they experienced, anything you want to?
I have had some beautiful ones coming in from anyone would like to speak or ask a question or share their experience. More than happy, please raise your hands and you can. Please. Yes, Neeta, please share.
Yeah. When you guided us through the spirits, I did not see any figure or anything as such, but continuously I was feeling that there was a ray of yellowish and whitish light, which at times I couldn't bear and I had to move back. And that's because it was so much for me to bear that I had to move back. Luckily, my chair was helping me here. But throughout, I had this somewhere falling here.
Yeah.
Whenever I used to breathe in, and it used to completely transform from here. That was my feeling. Absolutely serene.
Wonderful. I'm very happy. So I've had some, thank you so much, Neeta. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad that you had that experience. Some are feeling very hot, very warm. Yes, it would happen because it's a very high vibration meditation. It would warm you. You will feel very warm.
Meenakshi has something to say.
Yes, Meenakshi, please share. Please share. She's not there.
I would like to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Kiran's sharing. Okay, please, Kiran, share.
So even right now, I'm feeling some pulsating in behind my eyes. I felt a very, very deep meditation for the first time, and I couldn't see any ray or anything of that sort. But I saw a very 8 or 9-year-old kid. Suddenly I'm seeing small children in my meditation. The other day also I talked to you. I had seen a boy. So this one was different. And I can remember the face now. And I've never seen him before. And he was smiling. Yeah.
So it's possible. course it is.
Yeah.
I have a comment from Amelia who says, it was spectacular. I didn't expect this. I started feeling very emotional and literally started crying when I saw the spirit guide was standing near me in a light aura. She sat near me and kept patting my head with my questions, and I kept crying. She was my mom, and I was very reluctant to let her go. She kept looking back at me and finally disappeared.
So
Thank
can
you
we,
for sharing that, Amelia.
yes, Amelia, would you like to share further? Amelia?
Hi, this is actually Nisha.
Yes.
That's my daughter's name. And to be really honest, I didn't really expect this in the session. I'm being very honest here. And I'm still, if you can hear from my voice, I'm still, my tears are still not dried.
Mm-hmm.
When this started, I thought, I will be able to imagine something. And that's all that I was expecting. And I could see that, white mountain when I was sitting in that green aura, the green scenery, and the light and the fence, how it started drifting towards me. And it didn't really take a proper, human form like of my mother. It was just like, a wisp of light, yellow light. It showed like it was like, a woman, but I could feel that it was my mother.
Okay.
And asked her also, and she didn't reply to any of my question. She was standing near me and she kept patting me. I didn't have much questions. I was just feeling good. The good in the sense that my tears were literally falling, and then she sat near me as well, and I had this one question in my mind, which is a very general question, anyways. So, or because I feel that way, and I asked her, and she kept patting me. She didn't say anything. She just wanted, to make me feel comfortable and that she understands. And I didn't feel like, letting her go. I just, kind of was relaxing on her shoulders. There was no physical form. It was just, how I could feel that she was sitting and see that in my eyes. It was not the way she used to look or, any human feature or anything. It was just a wisp. And then when you asked us to let her go, it was very reluctant. I did not want to, but I said that, okay, you can go. And when she was going, she was flying, that light was flying away, but I could feel that, she was looking back, that form. And then finally it all went away. I can still see it very clearly in front of my eyes. My mother passed away a year ago.
So sorry.
She keeps visiting me. My mother passed away a year ago. It's more than a year ago. And she keeps visiting in my dreams. I sometimes have questions I ask her. It was a good experience. Thank you.
I'm so glad it was. I'm really, really happy that it was and you had a good experience. The meditation is meant for that. So I'm very glad that you did. So thank you for sharing. And yes, as Kiran also had shared earlier, we can have our loved ones also visit us in this kind of an experience, because this does not specifically say it's a spirit guide. We can question them and ask those questions that, are you my primary guide? Are you my secondary guide? So as we go deeper into this experience, as we keep experiencing it, you can ask more questions. This was just your first brush. So first brush, sometimes they tell us, sometimes they're like, "Pehle mil to lo, fir baad mein baatein karenge." So which is perfect. It's nice. And this experience is available now. The format in which you can do this. And as I said, it's available even on my channel. So you please feel free to run it as many times as you like, so that your experience deepens. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, we have Jyoti as well. Her hand has been up for some time. Yes, Jyoti, please share.
So I wanted to ask, when you said imagine yourself sitting on that bench in a green lush field, I could imagine all of it, except it wasn't me sitting on that bench. I saw a little girl about 4 or 5 years old in a traditional red skirt and blouse. It wasn't me. I didn't look like that when I was a child as either. I mean, I don't understand that part. Otherwise, everything I could experience what you mentioned.
So let me tell you a little bit about what you have introduced. Jyoti is another dimension. Okay, sometimes we see other beings other than us. So we would wonder who that is. Sometimes we see ourselves in our spirit form. And in our spirit form, we are extremely good looking beings. If you see yourself in your light form, self-love will never be a problem. That much I can assure you. Okay, so sometimes we see ourselves also as little children, and you would say, "Nahi, nahi, ye main nahi hu." You will say that because
exactly.
So it is a possibility. That's your spirit form, and spirit form can look different. And some of us are, not some of us, all of us are extremely good looking people. We may not appear so in our earthly forms, or so we think. But yes, in our spirit form, we are of course divine, aren't we? We are all beings of light, different shades of light. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing, Jyoti. Thank you. Yes.
Before you come to the next, I'll just read out what Visha says. Visha says, I saw a male figure who had an orange light around him. I couldn't get the name. However, when I asked what he was here to teach me or his purpose, it said, you have a fire inside you and it has to be realized or lit or brightened. The figure said it was not a primary guide.
Ah, interesting. Very interesting. So Visha did not have a primary, but a secondary guide who's given her a message. Great. Wonderful, Visha. So you know what you need to do about your fire, isn't it?
Rachna, could you unmute yourself and go on, please?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Richard. It was a wonderful experience. And from last 2 days, I was stuck with some question. I was really needing of the answer. And I was on and off asking my guardian angel and spirit guides, and I was not getting it. So today morning, I just prayed to Babaji that, send somebody who can give me the answer. And here your meditation took me to the right person. And the spirit guide who came, she shared her name. She was Antina. And she was not my primary guide. I know my primary guide. She was my sub primary guide. And I asked her, why have you come to me? What is there? What purpose is there? She said, I have just come here to make you believe in your intuition. You're doubting yourself from last 2 days, and just believe in your intuition and just follow your heart. And I was seeing one symbol, and that symbol I'm seeing from last couple of days. And today it was very clear. It was a swastik symbol, which was moving in a round circle swastik in a 3D mode.
Okay.
A golden swastik. And it was, like when you started to say this seed can be a symbol or something, immediately I could see it. And it was, such a beautiful, like even she answered what question was bothering me. She answered me so nicely. My all doubts get cleared, and I know now what path I need to take it. It was beautifully. Thank you so much. It really meant a lot.
I'm so glad. I am so glad that you have that. Thank you. Thank you.
We have, Momita is smiling. I've been seeing her for a while, and she just smiled for the first time, and then she's smiling even more. And give me one moment, Momita. I'll just get to you. I'm just going to read aloud what Samriti says. She says, "I saw a navy blue light around me. I didn't see any figure, but I felt the light transported me to another calm place. It was dark around and cool breeze, as if I was by a lake. When the meditation ended, I could feel I was leaving that place and back to reality. Wonderful."
So
over to you, Mamita.
Hi, good evening, everyone. For me, this experience was very surprising because, Richa ma'am, I have never attended your meditation on this previously. Okay, this was the first time I did. But before you were telling anything, I was already there in that place. When you said, imagine yourself sitting in a wooden chair, I was actually inside a forest in that wooden chair. There was a water body in front of me. There were rabbits and small animals, even snakes, but none of them were harming me. They were all at peace and nice. And every time, whenever you said anything, I don't know how I already saw it before it. And that was surprising for me how it is happening. But when I saw the spirit guide, I actually saw him as a white angel. He was a male figure and somewhat resembled like Jesus. And so before I could actually ask him that you are my primary or secondary guide, I actually asked him that can Jesus be a spirit guide? So these kind of questions started coming up. So I had lots of questions before he could answer me. It was time for him to move. But then I knew that there is still many more chances when I can, talk to him and ask him. So very clearly I saw him.
Wonderful.
It was beautiful.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. Thank you so much for attending. You attend most of my things. Mamita and I are very closely associated. So a lot of my wonderful friends have attended SIP today. Friends, students, they have all decided to attend, even though they do attend other stuff of mine. They have decided to attend today. Great. We have also Shalini. Her hand has been up for a while. Shalini, what's your question, please? Or your
Yeah, Richa, Yeah, it's okay. First of all, thank you. Thanks a lot. It was a very good experience. I came in contact with you when we had the first session last Saturday on Akashic Records. There also I attended. Today also I attended. And since then I've been attending your meditations that's available on your channel. That chakra I do daily, on a daily basis I'm doing that.
I'm so
And
glad.
today what happened was, whatever you said, I was visualizing it. But it so happens with you, I don't know, in both the sessions it happens. I do meditation, but I never sleep. But last time also and this time also, I could hear only a few sentences of yours. After that, I went off to sleep. I don't know. I couldn't hear whatever you were saying. When I came back, when you said, "Ki, okay, you can ask this question. This is the last question you can ask." And I didn't know. I couldn't ask anybody. I couldn't, I couldn't talk to the person or whatever that figure was. I just could visualize a white thing taking a form. Initially, it was like we used to study in science. We used to have then old humans, evolving humans, that shape, then it changing. It was changing, and by that time it was over. I wanted to maybe forcefully see something, ask something, but it was not there. That entire session, what you said, I was there in the beginning, I was there in the middle. I don't know where I was. And after this, my head is very heavy. Top of the head is very heavy. My ears, it's like I have a cap on my head. That's just the head part, nothing else.
Recommend having some water. If you can have some tea,
Okay.
help you. Please put your bare feet on the ground. It will ground the energy, because this is a very high vibration meditation. It can cause these feelings. You may have felt you have slept, but it's actually the deep state, because we don't really sleep. But that window is very, very narrow from the deep theta to delta. Delta is when we sleep. So we think we have slipped into the delta, but we actually reach theta. So consciously, you may not recall listening to my instructions, but subconsciously you heard it all. So don't worry about it.
Before we get
Okay,
to
and one more
Anurag,
thing, I was slouching, like, I don't know, I was sitting straight because you said, but I was slouching again and again. So I had to remind myself, sit up. I don't know why. It was almost, I was towards my knees. Itli bending position my head gone. I don't know why.
Okay, that's okay. It's your experience. Just stay with it. It's absolutely
okay. Fine.
Sit with
Okay, thank you. Thanks, sir.
yeah, before we get to Anupama, Anuradha says, Anuradha had her hand raised for a while and then I think she got tired and she
Yes.
just wrote it. So she says, I couldn't see anyone but for a while, but at the end I could feel a man behind me. He had put his hands on my shoulder. I tried to talk to him, but he didn't reply. I just felt him saying, don't worry, I'm there behind you. Don't know who he was. Thank you for this feeling.
Yes, thank you, Sid. Thank you, Anuradha. I'm sorry we couldn't get to you on time. So these kind of experiences, whoever has said, not felt anything, not seen anything, remember my instructions were all widen all your senses. So some of us may have seen it as light. Some of us may have only felt a presence. Some have only seen a symbol. I see one more person, Rohan, here saying 5-pointed star and a name Akanksha. So all of this and more is possible. Because please remember, this was your first experience. In your first experience, we are not able to see everything. Okay, so we may not have a complete conversation in the first experience as well. And since we are in a group session, the time that we're spending on the meditation is also limited because of time restrictions. You can experience this meditation again, it's already available. My suggestion to you is not get so worried about it. Because when we have had a contact with our spirit guide, it reveals itself in different places, in your intuitive insights, into how you are doing something. Some answers will just come to you and you would wonder, how do I know this? So there are many, many ways in which they continue to guide us. They have always guided us. It's just that from this point onwards, you'll be very conscious. And you'll say, oh, acha, ye lagta hai kuch aur hai. So ye aapko aur aa jayega is what my request to you guys is. Your experience is your own. And whatever your experience is what you were ready for right now. So it's perfect, including thinking you have fallen asleep. So it's absolutely all right. There's no right or wrong in this experience. Yes, a couple of hands more. Ashna.
Anupama has been there for a bit.
Yes, Anupama, please.
Hi, Richa. So, you know that I've always been guided by numbers. So the moment that we went into the meditation, the numbers started appearing. It's like they started appearing on a screen, different. And then so when we came, okay, who is my guide? almost as if in writing, in a bright golden light, in a writing, in a beautiful handwriting, the name Aurelia appeared.
Aurelia, lovely.
Aurelia, that appeared for me.
Okay.
And that was it, And because right after that, again, more numbers. So it's like I've always believed for me that it's numbers. My guides speak to me through numbers. So yeah, it was like this. They were reinforcing that this is how you are getting your messages.
So beautiful.
So yeah, that was my experience. Yeah, Aurelia. So that's a name. Yeah. So what is now curious to look up what she looks like.
Aurelia is also a Hebrew name. The name is, I think, Hebrew or Icelandic. You'll have to just check back on the origin. It means.
I'll do that. Oh, lovely.
What does it mean? Just check back. Whatever language you guys just check back on the names, okay? Because it means something perfect for you. I've had yes, Ashna also has her hand up.
Before we get to Ashna, I'm trying to go one chat and one person in question in person.
Yes.
Anita says, "Is it weird that I didn't see anyone nor got any response on my questions? I followed the instructions and could imagine everything, but didn't get any response. All of a sudden, felt like sneezing. That's the only feeling. Did I do anything wrong?"
No, Anita, no, you did not. This is your experience for this moment, because this is what you are meant to receive right now. There is no right or wrong in this experience. Please, please, I'm requesting this to all. Do not compare your experiences with others. That's one. Second, whatever you are ready for right now will come to you. Sometimes some of us do not get the messages through a meditative experience. Sometimes we get it physically or through other means, through dreams. Okay, so please do not peg it as अरे meditation किया उसमें नहीं आया. Watch out for your dreams. You may get it later through your dream mode. Okay, so that is what is my request to all. Okay, please, hearing some wonderful, wonderful experiences here. Please do not compare yours with anybody else's. Everybody has a different mean. This was an experiential one that I have attempted to, give it to you guys for some or all of you to have some experience out of it. Yeah, it's of course not the.
Sorry, to add more to what Richa was saying, I remember having the very intense metaphysical experiences about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they just stopped after a while because I think I stopped my meditation. I got into the whole evidence-based nutrition, psychology, and physiology and things like that. And about 1 year ago, they just entirely came back to the bang. So one fine day, I woke up and for some reason I was seeing auras again. So make of that what you will. So, time and a place and all of that. Over to you, Ashna.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. The moment you talked about getting into meditation to see our spirit guide, that very minute, in fact, I wanted to get into it with a very open mind and without any preconceived notion. But I found myself thinking of my mother as if, I had already decided, oh, she's my spirit guide and it has to be her. It has to be her. So that kind of interfered with my experience because in my head, I had already decided. And I was just telling myself that let me not have this pre-decision that, okay, it is her. Okay. So I have to get into this with an open mind and let me just see what I experience. But all through the meditation, I was kind of just fighting with the thing which I'd already decided for myself that it's her, because I do talk to her, in moments when I am down and when I think I need some guidance and all. Okay. So in my heart, I feel her presence, and probably that interfered with my ability to actually experience this in a very, very neutral way. Okay. And when I tried experiencing it, I couldn't visualize the whole thing correctly. And I just felt very, very sleepy. And like someone else also mentioned that through the process, I almost dozed off and I was like, what's happening with me? Why can I not stay awake? And so I felt as if I had missed out on what you were saying. And it's only when you said, come back, and, just put your feet back on the ground and move your toes and all. I felt like, oh, I was not able to focus as much as I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And it was not because I was distracted or anything. It was because I just started dozing off. And earlier I was just fighting the preconceived feeling which I was having that it's your mom type, which happened even before the meditation started.
So one question to you, Ashna. Yeah. Mom's not here anymore on the earthly plane, isn't it?
Yeah, she passed away 2 years back.
2 years back, and you were extremely close to her?
Yes.
So what's happened is this experience is still very new to you. So for you, your mom was your guide in physical life. And that's what you are ready for right now. So that is why your mind is held on to that idea. Do not push it. In all probability, your mom is your loved one. She is guiding you. So stay with that right now. The spirit realm is, of course, with you. And it will communicate through your mom only to you, whatever it would like to communicate. Okay? So it's absolutely all right to see your mom again. It's absolutely fine to continue to remain close to her, talk to her, have these conversations. She's just in another realm, just not on the physical plane. Okay? Our souls are immortal, never die, isn't it? So she's very much there. So your experience is your own. So nothing wrong with it. And the fact that you were feeling sleepy or you felt that you had dozed off is all because of the quality of the induction. I tend to use my voice to deepen it further. That's the reason why you were feeling sleepy. I'm a hypnotherapist, my dear. So it's my ability.
Yeah, but like if you have a guide on your mind beforehand, does that not interfere with the experience to actually see who would come into your thought process during the meditation? So that is what I felt. It was interfering with it.
Right now, you're ready to be only with your mom. That's what you want right now. So be with it. Do not fight that. It's absolutely okay to have that thought also, that my mom is my spirit guide. It's absolutely fine. It's okay. So you're not looking for a spirit guide right now. Your mom is your spirit guide. Full stop. That's perfect. Don't worry about it. Yes.
Yes. Suppose I bring about the notion that trance is defined as the engagement of the conscious mind. And when you're in trance, then all the conscious notions of whatever you might have before you entered will not really be applicable once you're in there. Is that
so one more thing is this whole bit about subconscious mind. See, what happens is subconsciously, and we're using Ashna's example. Ashna is very close to her mom. So subconsciously, there's a very, very strong connection that's there. Okay. So that connection will come into play. And that's what happened to her, which is fine. It's absolutely okay.
Of course. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a message from Smita over here. One moment, please. Smita says, I am in love with what I experienced today. It was a very peaceful guided tour to an extremely beautiful place.
Okay.
I am in love with what I experienced today. It was a very peaceful guided tour to an extremely beautiful place. Definitely someplace I have not seen earlier. The light, as it came close to me, took a shape of something that is definitely not human, but had peaceful, angelic features. It was floating around me, smiling, gentle, and almost pinkish white in color. And the name that came to me for her was Rose. When I asked her a couple of questions, she smiled and she said that she's here to hold the space for me to do what I want to do. She was so beautiful, even though I couldn't put any face or figure to her.
How beautiful. So, Smita, so beautiful your experiences. Of course, Rose. Yes, yeah, that's how these experiences are. And these are very gentle, very beautiful. I think there was someone else above as well that I had read who had an animal guide and a human guide. So that's also possible. As I said before, you may experience all kinds of entities, and it's absolutely okay. Remember, if any of you remember the initial part of the meditation, I had protected everyone with the Akashic light. So you will only encounter beings who are of a very, very high vibrational state. So there was no chance of, interacting with anyone else. That was one. Second, yes, their presence feels like love. So yes, you will feel in love because their presence is love. Their vibration is that high. The very fact that you've just seen them is enough for you to be empowered by that energy. So I'm so glad you had this experience, Smita. Thank you.
Over to you, Sonia.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hi. Hello.
I happen to be Ashna's sister.
Oh, great.
After my mom passed away, like she gets dreams about her and she continuously talks to her mother. I have never had a dream about her. But from that time onwards, I just keep on picking up the phone. Like I'm just talking to you and it's 5:05 right now. So I'll pick up the phone, it'll be 10:10, 7:07, 6, anything. But just like I'm talking to you, it's 5:05 right now. Okay. And I'll just, I am in a car and the movement of the car and here I see the time on my phone. And again, it's something like this. That has happened after she has passed away. And it had never happened before. And it's quite regular. Secondly, during this meditation.
Hello? Hello? We've lost you, Sonia.
Okay, she's perhaps not there.
Yes, I think she has had.
Monica Chan says, beautiful experience. I saw a dog and a formless, loving presence. Thank you for this.
So lovely.
For the record, Monica is an advanced yoga practitioner. So that is interesting.
I'm so glad, Monica, you had that experience. The formless, loving presence. Yeah, that's how they feel.
Thank you for this. Sorry, I'm not putting the camera on because I'm on the road, but thank you, Sid, for this as well. And thank you, Richa. It was a lovely experience.
Thank you for attending. Thank you so much.
Richa, could you take any questions from the chat if you like? Because I'm sharing my screen.
Yes. I am just checking. So can the spirit guide be a known person? I got this as a direct message. I could see myself in a white dress alongside Om symbol with Buddha and this known person. Yes, it's possible. If this known person has passed on from this realm, then there is a complete possibility of the known person being your spirit guide for the time being. So these are usually secondary guides. The primary guide has been with you like forever. Sometimes they do not show themselves directly. Yes, so it's a possibility. Yes. Jyoti, she has lost her dad in 2008, but she still finds him very clearly communicating with her, which is absolutely beautiful, Jyoti. I'm so glad that you have this communication channel with your dad. So thank you. How to speak with our spirit guide? Again, we can speak to our spirit guides in silence. The more we learn to silence our mind, the more we can go into the deepest parts of our mind, the more that channel opens. Please understand that channel is open for all of us. All we need to do is train our minds to go into silences, and they will speak to us. And please understand, they always do not speak in a language. They speak through insights, through feelings, through tingling sensations, through happenings, sometimes through feathers and through sometimes through feathers and through pebbles. Those things are usually associated with angels, but sometimes the spirit guides also use a physical format. So your spirit guide may be very specific to you, and you may get a very specific answer from them. So that's completely possible. Yes. So please, be open. As long as we are open to that channel of communication, and do not dismiss it as only my imagination, you will have this experience. These are the 3 caveats of the Akasha, which I love putting it out there. The 3 caveats is: fear not, judge not, resist not. Do not fear your experience. Do not judge your experience, and do not resist what's coming to you. You open that up, the doors of the Akasha and of the spirit realm and of spirit guides will open up for you. It isn't difficult at all. It's as easy as breathing. I can assure you of that. Wasn't it as easy as breathing for all of you? All you did was deep breathing and listen to me. Nothing more. Isn't it? Yes, we weren't even using any music. I was deliberate not to use music this time because there was a lot of instructions in this one. That was the reason I didn't use music. Yes. Kiran, a live person cannot be a spirit guide. The person is here to then guide you. You're being shown that this person is a physical representative of your spirit guide. So that's a possibility. That person is a physical representative. They're not a spirit guide per se because they are not in spirit. They are in a physical form. But they can be a representative sent into your life for a specific purpose. It's possible. Yes. Do spirits feel discomfort when we try to reach out to them? Not the spirit guides. No, वो अपनी मर्जी से आते हैं. And वो बहुत high है, तो हमसे discomfort नहीं होगा. जो हम दूसरी spirits का बात कर रहे हैं, people who have passed on, our loved ones, my recommendation is always to go to them with a lot of respect and love. And only request, if you can come and speak to me, request to be spoken to in dreams. That never bothers them. But if we want to do something like what is called as a planchette and things like that, those things I ask people to stay away. Those are very disruptive formats and they are not respectful towards spirits. Yes, use a very gentle format and you can always request. There's no demand here, it's request. Yes, we come from that space, they are there.
So I have, I know Seema just joined us for the first time. Seema is a friend, I think, kitne saal ho gaye? What, 30 years maybe, more than 30 years. And she's also a Reiki master. And so she attended this for the first time. Seema, how was your experience? Yeah?
Yeah, hi Richa, hi Sid. It was a beautiful experience. And yeah, I've been in this field of Reiki healing for more than a decade now. And to tell you, I have been receiving such guidance and certain masters. I believe that I am connected with somewhere. I feel so.
Of course.
And today, when we started the session, it just like before I could sit, it like the connect, and I still feel it strongly in my heart center. The connect is still there, and it's beautifully there. The guy's name also flashed in, and what I was looking for, that also was flashed in. So it just like it just fell into sync. Everything one after the other. Like a few days back, me and Sid were discussing something, and I found the answers what we were discussing. So it's like clear, enhanced. Like you said, 3 steps, so enhanced, and we were discussing on that point. And the guy's name was Aruna.
Lovely. Lovely
So
name.
can you just elaborate if there is something specific, like, because as I heard there were specific names like the primary guys like Michael and Gabriel and Raphael.
Sure,
so if you could just and one more question. Certain times when I'm guided, I just feel like maybe it's my logical mind which is trying to send in me that answer. So how do you distinguish between the two? At times, it just happens certain times with me.
Okay, let me take your question. The both of them are very good questions. Thank you for asking them. So the first couple of things, Michael or Zadkiel or Raphael, these are absolute entities. These are the archangels. The archangels are there for the entire universe, not just for Richa or for Sid or for you, ma'am, isn't it? They are absolute, okay? When you took the beautiful name Aruna, Aruna would be just yours. Aruna would not be Richa's or Sid's. Okay?
Right.
The sides are very personal. They are yours and you are theirs. It's a partnership which has been for every lifetime that you've ever had. The primary ones. The secondary ones do keep changing. It depends on what you have taken on as a challenge in that life or as a lesson in that life. As per that, the secondary ones will change. When they have taught us the lesson, helped us learn the lesson, they will move on. The secondary spirit guides work very closely with what we call in the Akasha, the teachers. So that's a different kind of a relationship where they work with them to give us lessons and work with us. The second question that you had is, my logical mind gives me something and I feel it's my logical mind. A little while back, I talked about 3 caveats. Judge not, resist not, fear not. Yes, your logical mind has given you an answer because it will filter from your logical mind. We cannot separate the two. But how does it feel? Does it feel right? If you do that, did it turn out right? Did it give you comfort?
Richa, you're breaking up.
Then so be it. As we stop judging and stop resisting and stop fearing, is that you will be able to discern the two voices very, very clearly. You will know that this is not my mind. This is something more than my mind, because they are more than our minds. It's just that we are all human beings, are conditioned to dismiss it. We are conditioned to dismiss our imagination, isn't it? It is just your imagination. It is just your thought. No, it's beyond your thought. So once we stop dismissing it, stop judging it, you will be able to discern. Then you will say, oh, it doesn't look like my thought because I wasn't thinking this earlier. So from where has it come? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what generally happens with everyone. So the feeling part is like, that's what is most important, because I think it's just like it goes, the thoughts, the feeling, and the experience. That's how we do even in the processes that we take. We just do it this way. That is the thought and the feeling and the experience, and then experience is what get enhanced.
Correct. Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing right now. So this was beautiful. And I definitely got great insights to what I was looking for. So thank you so much. And thanks, Sid, for bringing me in.
Thank you so much for attending. I'm very grateful that you did it.
Richa, one interesting, one thing I could probably, it happens to me a lot of the time, is during a hypnagogic state. I tend to see things which seem to be, initially you think they're memories or something that happened earlier today or sometime in the past, but then a couple of seconds later you realize that they're not memories at all, that you've never seen anything like what you're saying before.
Correct.
And yeah, so that's very interesting. I think you pointed something like this out in the very beginning, right?
Yes, yes.
Right.
It's perfectly possible. Yes, absolutely. So I think very
May I add one point here?
yes, yes.
See, long time back, I did one PLR session. So after doing that, getting that PLR session done, when I came out, the first question that came into my mind was that, was it really my past life, or it is something like I have imagined and created a story? But later on, what made me believe that it was my past life is the feeling associated with that movie that I saw. So, I felt it. I was crying because I was hypnotized at that moment, but I was actually feeling the entire story as it was me. So, I think any other imagination will not give us that kind of connectivity to the story. So, probably this could be a reason that it was not a story made by conscious mind, but it was something really which came out from the past memory. So,
Richa,
similarly,
sorry, please continue, please continue.
yeah, so similarly, whenever we visualize any such thing in Akasha or such thing, the first question, whosoever doubts it, that is it my conscious mind, I think the logical answer is, as ma'am said, how did you feel about it?
Can
So
I
that,
answer this one?
Yes,
From my perspective, please tell me what you think.
yes.
So I remember I was when I was doing a PLR long ago, but for the first time, and during that time, I remember I was in a car, and there was a woman seated next to me, and the therapist asked me, "Who is she?" And I said, "She will be my wife." And then she will be my wife.
She will be your wife. Okay.
And then she asked me, "What does she look like?" Now, at that point, we were in a car, so my field of vision was restricted by the windshield and all of that. So it was an open car. So I tried to reverse the scene और साइड में रोटेट किया ये करा वो करा बहुत कुछ किया लेकिन कुछ भी करा लेकिन उनकी शक्ल मुझे नहीं दिखाई Now here's the difference with now imagination can fill in each and every gap. So if it was imagination, I would have definitely seen some face or the other because it is imagination. But this, I don't know what it is. I mean, speaking as a skeptic, but it is definitely not imagination. That's my logic. What do you say, Richard?
Absolutely. And I will answer both your questions, yours and, I believe that was Momita. I have a very simple this thing to it. Has it solved your problem? How are you feeling? How did you feel after the experience?
Me? You're talking to me?
From both of you, how did you feel?
I was in for a lark, really. I didn't have anything to answer. I just kept experiencing things and got out of it.
It's become true now.
जी?
वो बाद में सच हुआ क्या?
According to that timeline, it was about 200 years ago, so I don't know. Not 200, sorry, it was about 100 years ago.
Most of these are shown to us to solve a problem.
Right, okay.
If the problem solved and you're out of it, that's what it is, the objective achieved. So even if some people say it's only a story, I have a very simple adage to it. Has it solved your problem? Without any medicines, without any problems, you'd solve your problem, so be it. You want to treat it just as a movie ka kahani, because some of it is very fantastical. If you listen to it, you'll be like, wow, puri kahani likh dali. And a geeky nerd like me to loves it. But biggest thing is, if it has solved the problem solved. Let's just close it. And see what happens when we intellectualize a lot of it, go into too much analysis of it. We are not able to analyze it fully with our conscious mind because it is beyond our conscious mind. And we will not be able to analyze every aspect of it or every element of it. It's best to go by feelings. I always say, how are you feeling?
I firmly believe in the thing of experience and observe. We generally tend to try to reach a conclusion with too few samples.
Yes.
And our minds are powerful enough that when the number of samples is reached, they will automatically make the connection. And we don't really need to consciously try to analyze and conclude and judge and all those things. अपने आप हो जाएगा.
Yes, Sid, I'm conscious of time. We are at 5:50. What would you like to do? I mean, shall we look at concluding?
Yes. So, guys, let's conclude. Richa, thank you so much for your time here again today. And so I hope all of you have her number. I hope you took screenshots. Let me share that screen again, just so you can see her number again.
You're very
There it is. So please take a screenshot of this. Her email address is there. The website is there. इसमें YouTube का channel नहीं है. It is also by the name of Samira Messi. So please check it out. And Richard, again, thank you so much. Every time you speak, every time you're here, you provide an enriching and enlightening experience. And you don't just say you're open to questions, you definitely are open to questions. So thank you so much for all that. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for coming. And look forward to the next time. You take care. See you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good message.
Thank you so much.
Have an amazing weekend.
Thank you, Richa.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending.
See you, Jayanti.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richa. Thanks, Sid. Thank you so much.
I'll call you, Seema. Okay, I'm just going to stop the share now.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We've got 34 people. I tend to sit and wait for folks to leave.
You're a very kind host, Sid.
It almost seems like, when you close the meeting, there's some folks inside. It's like it's the moment
I think I will pick that up from you. I think it's very gentle etiquette. It's very gentle. We never think of it in that way. घर पे तो करते हैं ना, लेकिन पे नहीं करते.
It's interesting because I'm also a Fauji brat, and it's very interesting that it's still inside me to sit and wait for people in a car to leave rather than see them to the car, they get inside and you walk away. अभी तक आदत लगी हुई है for some reason.
नहीं, but अच्छी आदत है. I think online mode में हम उतना सोचते नहीं है. सोचना चाहिए. We need to. People were so kind to come when spend an hour with you, an hour and more. Actually, we've been on at 30 minutes. Actually.
So tell me, how often is it that you come across something something new to learn, or something you say, I've got to go and look this up, in these sessions? You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. Could you please repeat?
So you've been doing this for a while. So these days, how often do you come across something you still need to learn, or you think, okay, I need to go look this up, or let me get back to you,
Every day.
Every day. How interesting.
I am a student for life. I still am learning, and I will continue learning.
Right.
Sometimes I'm looking up at the archetypes. So
You're welcome, Deepika.
I've done a lot of work on. Have you heard of this lady, the woman who runs with the wolves? There's a book by Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
No, but can I just come back to what you said about archetypes? So it was interesting because just before your session, I was talking. I was in a PLR training session. And they were talking about that the subject might have perceptions and so on and so forth. So we were just thinking on those lines that the subconscious is supposedly composed of archetypes and the concept of complexes. So therefore, when you are deeply in the subconscious or wandering around that realm, any attributes that you encounter are likely to be archetypal attributes rather than human attributes. What do you think about that?
Yes. So archetypes or archetypals actually is a sum total of many, many lifetimes that you have amalgamated, and it forms an archetype. And it will sit in your subconscious mind as, for want of a better word, a personality block or a type of personality. And you may respond to that archetype.
Right.
And subconsciously, your behavior will very much respond to it. So when we go to that level, we are able to investigate to understand where is this archetype developing from and what is the origin of it. A lot of the origins are also, of course, in the current life. But as I've done this work on PLR, what I realized is there are people who have lived those archetypes again and again, like a cycle.
This itself is a whole completely different, vast field by itself.
Vast field by itself. And it's very interesting work.
Extremely.
It's worth PhDs, actually, honestly speaking.
Seriously? Wow.
So my thought process is around that. So it gets me very intrigued. So I do a lot of reading on it. Then, of course, find my own thoughts. कि ये क्या है, इसके पीछे और क्या देख सकते हैं, थोड़ा ढूंढना. Would you like to stop recording?
Yes, I think we'll close.